Welcome to AMBUCS Radio. Conversations with successful entrepreneurs, sharing their tips and strategies for success. Real-world ideas that can put megabucks in your bank account. Here's your host, Nina Hirschberger.
Hello and welcome to today's show. I am your host, Nina Hirschberger, and today my guest is Jerry Kezhaya. I am so thrilled, Jerry, that you're with us. Jerry actually grew up in the auto repair business. His father started an automatic transmission repair shop back in Detroit in 1946. And so since then, Jerry has been around cars. But he didn't stop there. He went on to create a mastermind, a mentor business, a car wash. He has strip malls, all sorts. I mean, he is a true serial entrepreneur. And of course, as you can imagine, with all that kind of success, he's been recognized and given small business awards, environmental awards, been on boards, and he's a real giving back kind of person. So, Jerry, I am so honored that you took the time today during the coronavirus time to really be on this call and share some very specific things with these small business owners that are wondering, will they be able to survive? Will they be able to have a business afterward? Thank you and welcome to today's call.
Thanks for having me. I'm honored to be here. Nina, we've known each other for a while through the GKIC world, and, I'm just thrilled to be here, and hopefully by the time we get off of here, we'll give you some ideas that other business owners will be able to use to really help get their business back on track, because this COVID-19 has I just read the news today, and it says, we paused the economy. How in the world do you pause the economy and expect people to continue doing business and taking care of their families? That's a question I keep scratching my head going, how do you do that? But that's what they're doing in Washington, and they think that sending us, some stipends are going to help, but here we are.
Yep, here we are. That's true. So let's get right into it. So I'd love to just kind of keep my mouth shut and let you just share. So I'm going to let you get started. First of all, let's talk about your auto repair shop. Tell what's happening and the calls you're getting saying, how are you guys still doing? Everybody else is dead and you guys are still fixing cars. So let's talk about that first.
So I started this company literally in the driveway of my house in 1981. We are currently the largest independent repair shop in Northeast Texas. We are 0.8 acres under the roof. To give you an example, 35,222 square feet. It's a big shop, and I just tell everybody it's a big machine that likes to eat a lot of broken cars and spit them out well repaired and restored on the other end. So we take a lot of cars in. We have to stay busy. We've got all the employees that, are depending on us. We have not laid anybody off. We have not reduced anyone's hours. We are just blowing and going. And again, I'll tell you, we are not breaking records, but we are certainly keeping our staff busy. We're keeping all of our folks doing what they need to do. And as you said, our vendors have called us up repeatedly going, what in the world are you guys doing? Because you're the only ones that have any cars in your bays. Everybody else is dead. Like other shops are zero cars. And we are taking them in just almost as we normally take them in. And I'll tell you what it boils down to, in our opinion, and that's just good old-fashioned communication. And we are huge proponents of communicate any and every way that you can with your clients. And I'm not joking. We still send out a printed newsletter to our clients. It's just something we do every single month. And if you're on my list, you're going to be on my list until you tell us, until you tell me to stop. But it keeps growing every month. Our numbers there continue to grow. We send out an email newsletter to our clients every 2 weeks. We send out reminder postcards. We send out thank you notes, handwritten thank you notes to every single client that comes into the building, regardless of their spend. If we haven't seen our clients in a while, we actually get on the phone and call them. And right now with the COVID-19, we are calling our elderly client, not that we want them to bring their cars in, but what we're doing is calling them up and asking them, do you need anything? Do you need help running errands? Do you want us to pick up something for you? We are happy to do that. We've been part of this community. Next January, we'll start 40 years. And I just think that it's very important for me to give to the community. I just think that this has been a great town for us to be in. It's been a great town for our businesses. We have been really blessed by having so many companies. At one time, my wife and I owned 7. Several were multi-million-dollar companies, and as I'm reaching over 60, this year I'll be 62, and I said, it's time for me to start winding down and just focusing on a couple. And so I've sold a couple projects that we had, and right now we have 4 companies. So it's really good to be able to really focus my energies back on the things that I truly love, and we cut out all the bad things that not bad, but things I didn't have the passion for. And so here we are today. We're doing everything that we can. Like I said, we communicate with our folks. We send them emails, newsletters, email newsletters, we send them calls, everything that you can think about as far as marketing. The only thing that we're not able to do right now with marketing is our handshake networking, right? When you go to chambers of commerce and BNI groups and Rotaries and that sort of thing, because everything is shut down. But we still continue doing the things that we know will work. And how do you know that they'll work? You got to be really careful. When you're marketing to your folks, when you're marketing for new folks, you've got to make sure that, number one, you've got the right market, right? Number 2, you got to have the right medium. You got to have the right message. So for example, boomers want the printed newsletter. They got to have something they can hold. Now millennials, man, if you send it to them in an email, they're all about that. And text messaging is actually even better than an email. Millennials don't care for email as much, and you got to make sure that you're sending the right message. So again, you got to know who your market is. You got to know what media it is that they are attracted to, and you also have to have the right message. So there's just a number of things that all go into this, and I'll tell you, marketing is a science. You really just can't throw money at it and expect it to be effective. People are drowned today in so many marketing pieces that they're continuing to turn more and more of a blind eye to it. So again, the right media, the right market, and the right message are critical. And only you have to know who your client is. You have to know exactly who your top clients, your avatars. We've created an avatar for our top client, and we know everything about that type of person who is our client, and we just make sure that we're talking to them as if they were sitting here. If they're on the phone with me right now, what would I be talking to them about when it comes to marketing? That's what we try to focus and make happen with all of our stuff. And I hope I did that okay. And everybody, I know I was talking fast, but I'm open for questions.
No, I got lots of questions. First of all, here's the thing that hurts me so badly with small business owners that you just really dialed way in is, first of all, it's all about the list. You have a list. You know who they are. You know their demographics. You probably know their psychographics. You know them. Yeah. As opposed to many business owners who are working in their business, because I know, Jerry, you're not out there fixing any cars. You're working on your business.
I haven't worked on a car in decades.
And so, a lot of these small business owners, let's say it's a catering company, that person is cooking the food. And so they don't have a list. So during this period of time, even if they wanted to pick up the phone and call those elderly people, even if they wanted to send a printed newsletter, they don't even know. They don't know who their customers are. And so that's really, really, I always start there. The secret is in the list. People, one of the things I got is a direct mail piece that looks like a man's paper wallet. And people will say to me, well, what kind of response can I get if I mail that out? And I said, well, if you're doing hearing aids and your list is the 18-year-old, you're not going to get any response.
Yep.
So not only do you have to have the list, you got to know the list. But I want to go back to your printed newsletter. I bet that piece, because you're right, boomers like printed things coming in the mailbox. I bet that thing is just a fun piece, right? It's not some boring, crazy. I mean, give us a word picture. What does this thing look like?
Okay, so our company colors are yellow and black, right? Our newsletter comes on yellow paper with black ink. It is a 4-page. Forgive me. You're in the printing business.
Fold it twice, probably. Fold it twice.
Well, yes, fold it twice so you can mail it easily. It is. Yep. I'm going to guess it's 11 by 17. So it's folded once and then folded again, and it's. I'm telling you, it's black ink on yellow paper. It has almost the exact effect of a full color newsletter, but it's like a third of the cost. And this thing is so beautiful. First of all, I have a service that I work with. It takes me truly about 20 minutes to put this thing together. And it goes out every month, and there's nothing in it about a car. For example, I'm looking at it's called Fuel for Thought, a free monthly newsletter from your friends at the Auto Shop. And we have April events, so you have April Fool's Day, Children's Day book, bunch of little things that are in your calendar, or could be. The next one is New T-cell may be grown to fight all cancers. Another one is a snapshot of doctors' lifestyles. And then there's a little square here that says, do you have a question about car maintenance that you want answered? We'd love to hear from all of our good friends and clients who enjoy reading our monthly newsletter. If you have a question about anything related to your vehicle, feel to reach out. And we have our phone number, our email, or they can visit our website. And at the very bottom of this one says, save yourself and a friend some money all month long. Give this coupon to a friend, and when they bring it in, we'll send you a crisp $25 bill, plus give your friend $25 off any service. So we're already working on our referral program, right? On the first page of our newsletter. The second one, we have a thank you. It's for the clients that refer people to us. Then there's more stories on the inside. And then at the bottom of that page, we have April Showers Special, where we're doing special prices on oil changes. The next page, it shows a square, and it's congratulations to our client of the month, and we tell them what they're in there for. We've got some cartoons. Another block has a testimonial with a customer's name on it. And this is page 3. It has a couple more stories, how to start an emergency fund, dolphins demonstrate cooperative behavior, and then the third coupon is car care labor savings. Again, 3 coupons in the whole thing. And on the inside, we have 2 double-sided inserts. The first one says protocol implemented for the coronavirus. We talk about our night drop-off and early bird drops. We have a lockbox outside. We put up a cell phone lockbox so that after hours you can go to our website, pay for your vehicle, and we will put your keys and the invoice inside the lockbox and set the combination to the last 4 digits of your cell number. And this box has 8 lockers on it. So we don't even have to touch a vehicle. We don't have to, you don't have to come into the building. You can get all this right here. We actually bought hospital sanitizers, and before anything happens, every morning we sanitize the entire office, anything that a customer could touch. And then when they come in, we sanitize our pens right in front of them. We hand them the pen, and they can put it in their pocket and keep it. And, of course, it says our company name, the Auto Shop on it, and website and phone number. And they get to sign up the paperwork. We sanitize their keys. We wipe down their vehicle, anything that they touch or could touch. All of our techs now are wearing gloves and face masks when they're working on the cars. And once the vehicle's done, they get sanitized again, and as well as the keys, and it's just a seamless. We use the seat covers, the steering wheel covers. Like I said, technicians wear gloves every time we do anything out to the vehicle. We're hand washing. We've got, if you go to our website, they can go to the bottom of the page, and it's a pay via the web. It's a secure page, and we even have 6 months same as cash available via our website. So we're doing lots of things, and this is just in our newsletter, right? To remind folks of the care that we're taking to keep not only them safe, but our employees as well. So it's really pretty cool, just some of the advances we're doing.
So here's it, you gave so much information that I hope they're picking up. First of all, so many people say, well, I'm not going to send out a newsletter. It's way too expensive. You probably think, well, I can't not send it out because it's too expensive, because otherwise it's just one of those marketing touches. But you print it on color paper and black and white toner. I'm sure at $2,000 you might be ink. But it's much more affordable. People think they've got to do these 4-color, beautiful, slick kind of stuff. You and I both.
Let me tell you something. This thing purposefully looks hokey. My customers come in here and they come in here and tell me every month, man, I love your newsletter. You do a great job putting that thing together. They think I'm here cutting and pasting and putting it together on my computer and that I do it all here, right? So what does that do? If I've learned, now I'm in a very interesting business. I have a beautiful office. It's nice, but it isn't too nice, right? If a guy comes in here and he's driving, I don't care, whatever a low-level vehicle is. I used to say, if someone comes in and they're driving a Pinto, I can't have my place looking like Taj Mahal because they're going to think I'm overcharging them, right? So our place is nice. It isn't over the top. There's no granite. There's none of that type of thing. Same thing with our newsletter. If I produce a very professional looking, full color, beautiful piece that could win awards, the image of the newsletter sets the tone of the customer's expectation of your price level. And in the auto repair business, I do not ever want anyone to think that I'm the most expensive guy out there. I don't want them to think I'm the cheapest. I just want them to know that we're the best. And by doing this newsletter, let me tell you, every month I have people that call us up. We have a trivia competition in here. They can win a free oil change, and we get scores of folks calling us every month trying to win a darn free oil change, right? It's some of the things that we continue to do to create continuity with our clients. But the concept of the newsletter, you can't make it too nice in this business, right? Now, other businesses, it's a different story. If you're working with you pick the profession. You may want to do more of a professional. I've got an attorney client of ours. He does a beautiful full color page. But what we're doing, we're spending less than $1 per client per month. Now, I figured out that it cost me about $11.70 a year, including postage, per customer, per client, to send this out to them. How can I not spend $12 a year on a client to keep them? It's called top-of-mind awareness. You want to make sure that anytime anything happens with their car, that they think of me, they think of the auto shop, they think of calling us, and, oh, where's that number? It's in my phone. I have folks go on vacation. They get a yellow car. They send me a text message of it. Hey, look at my car. I'm thinking about you. This is pretty cool. I mean, it's just fun, right? This is some of the fun things that we get to do, and I really think that a big part of it is our newsletter.
Oh, that's so smart. Yeah, no, I wouldn't even do it with a lawyer. If I've had one, because I have a newsletter template service. For $59 a month, I do the entire newsletter for them. It's all written, all designed, everything. Now, they have to, if they want to put their little coupons in, they got to do, the 20 minutes like you talk about. However, I would do it exactly like that for the lawyer. So let me give you an example. Years ago, I worked at the University of Notre Dame. I was there because my daughter could go there tuition-free because I worked there. She came out with a Notre Dame degree and zero debt. And so one time the business office called me and said, we want to get a better price on printing for our MBA program, the mailing that we send out. So I went over there and I chatted with them and stuff. Now, I never gave them this idea, but I know it would have worked like crazy because they had a beautiful brochure with beautiful students and beautiful professors on this beautiful campus and put it in this gold envelope. And, they spent lots and lots of money. If they would have done a contest and they would have said, what is having a Notre Dame degree done for you in your career? Send us a one-page letter on your letterhead. We're going to have a contest. We're going to pick the top 100, and that's going to be the piece that we're going to send out. Look at the difference. You're talking about slick and beautiful as opposed to real. And your newsletter is a real kind of a piece. I'd still do it for a lawyer. I think it's a brilliant strategy. Because you're right, $12 for each one of your customers. That's amazing. Now, Jerry, I wanted to segue just a little bit because not only have you been extremely successful in your auto business, but you are now a mentor and a mastermind for other businesses. So on this podcast could be somebody who has a dental office, somebody who has a chiropractic office, somebody who has some other kind of business. Does this kind of marketing work in their business as well? Let's pick the dentist. If you had a dental office, what would you think they should be doing right now?
Well, I'm just going to say, number one, they got to be marketing. That's without question. I don't understand why they're not sending out newsletters if they're not. I think, Dan Kennedy has said it forever. Your lowest hanging fruit is your repeat customers, people that already know, love, and trust you. Why would you not work on retaining those clients? It costs me almost $100 to capture a new client. $100. Every time I want a new client, I have to calculate I'm spending $100. That's a lot of money to get someone come in for a $40 oil change. It cost me $100 to get someone in to do a $40 oil change with the hope that they come back. Well, you know what? It cost me $12 to keep that oil change. And they come in twice a year for oil changes plus state inspections plus everything else. Why would I not want to stay in contact with that client? That's to me, right? Now, a dental business, I would still do a newsletter. I haven't heard from my dentist. They sent me a thing in 6 months that it's time to come back in for cleaning, but I haven't heard. They've not called. They've not sent me. There's no newsletter. There's nothing. Their marketing is terrible, in my opinion. And it's like, you know what? They're so busy trying to get new people, they don't care about the old people, their current clients. They hope that they just come back magically. And, you have to everybody is reaching out. Dental offices here have just exploded in the numbers in our area, and I'm getting all kinds of marketing postcards and coupons to come in. And it's not that I'm a coupon shopper or anything, but I'm looking because I'm into marketing. I want to see what people are sending out, right? So I check my mailbox every single day, and I look at every single piece. And if there's something that's beautiful that I really like, I'm going to call them up in a couple weeks and say, how did that piece do for you? I'm in a different business, or I'll even go visit the office manager because I'm a student of marketing. I want to know the best thing out there that is really working. Today you can throw if you don't have, man, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, Nina, but if
no, it's a great tangent.
if you don't have your avatar dialed in, if you don't know exactly who your clients are, if you don't know exactly who your top 10% of your clients are, you're going to piss away so much money and have such poor results. And you're going to look there and you go, this marketing stuff sucks. It doesn't work. It's just a waste of money. Well, I don't know. I'm spending $12 a year on clients, and my retention rate's pretty darn high. I'm pretty amazed with it, right? And we know who we market to. I know exactly who my avatar is. I know exactly where my top 10 clients live. And when you have it lasered in, it makes all the difference in the world. Instead of spending $100 for a client, I spend $12.
Okay, so let me ask this. Many of us, most of us, are huddled in our houses. We're not even driving. So why would I bring my car to your location at this particular time? Because it's time for my oil change? Because I know I was having this little squeak, and why not get it fixed now? Why are they coming to you?
Well, what they're telling us is this is the perfect time to bring their vehicle into us. Number one, we send them the reminders. We call them up. We're doing our marketing as normal, and they look around and say, you know what? Great time to bring my car into the shop. I won't be needing it. I don't have to worry about a ride to work. I don't have to worry about renting a car. I don't have to worry about trying to pick up my kids from school. This is the perfect time to get their car worked on. And you know what? We have a shuttle service. We pick them up. We pick up their car. We drop their car off. We can pick when the customer comes in, if they prefer for us to give them a ride, we will give them a ride in one of our vehicles, right? So, I mean, this is in my opinion, and what they're telling us, this is the perfect time to bring their cars in for service.
So that can actually be for any kind of industry, because that's what I was thinking you were probably going to say. First of all, everybody, all the other auto repair places, they didn't have a list. They never stayed in touch with their list, didn't know who their avatar was. And certainly now what they're doing is, well, nobody's going to come in, whereas you're saying, really? Oh, no. Well, think about the dentist. So here's my story. Now, ever since I've been born, without exception, no exceptions, I have gone to the dentist every 6 months. Every 6 months. I suppose not since I was born, maybe 2 or 3 years old, whatever that was. We moved 2 years ago to a new area. We had to find a new dentist. So I go to this new dentist, and, they do all the x-rays, and, 2 hours later, and I'm just saying, I want out of here. They say, well, you need X number of dollars worth of work. I'm thinking, really? Whoa. But I didn't do it, and I left. How about right now, when they have no business at all, if they made a call to me or if they sent me an email and said, look, we know we said you needed this. How about we give you this price? You pay right now. We'll put you on the July calendar, and we'll be all set. Wouldn't that be a good thing? And then what about if they did even, Facebook ads or something, and they expanded instead of a 3-mile radius, they went out to 10-mile radius, and now we're running ads. You need emergency dental work? We're here. Even if we're not your regular dentist, we're here for you. Here's what we're doing.
There are so many opportunities to market right now. There are so many people. You have a captive audience. They're home. They're glued to their computers. They're watching the news. They're poring over Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and every other social media thing out there. Why? What better time to market when you have people's eyes looking for, they're craving something other than Corona news. Anything. Send them a joke, for God's sake. Make them laugh. It's just the craziest thing right now. And I, like you, I see people doing nothing.
Nothing.
I will tell you, and I forget what year it was. I'm old, and I got a little bit of CRS going on, right? It was back in the early to mid 70s. My dad had his shop going. He had converted it to a full general repair shop. We did transmissions, and I was reading one of our trade magazines, and it was the greatest. It was life-changing for me, Nina. I cannot stress this enough. It was life-changing. The trade magazine on the cover had a picture of a guy underneath a car, halfway under a car. You could see, like, from his waist down, you could see his, the top part of his shirt and the boots and everything. But he was laying on a creeper halfway underneath the car, and he had the coiled phone cord with him. And the headline said, "You cannot run your business from a creeper." And I looked at that and I said, Dad, this is real. I got to follow this. This is my destiny. I'm going to run the business. And my dad looked at that and he said, oh, those people are crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. Well, let me tell you something. It was life-changing for me. I was a great tech. Notice I said was. I wouldn't hold a candle to the techs I've got today, right? If I had to go out there and work on a car, but I'll guarantee you I'm an amazing business owner. Running 7 companies simultaneously while averaging 126 days a year traveling is pretty awesome. And having each company continue to grow while we're doing it. This is running a business. It's not working in the business. It's constantly working on my business because, you can't run a business. You can't run a restaurant if you're the cook. You can't run a pest control company if you're the guy doing the applications. You can't run a law firm if you're the guy making all the contracts. You can't do it. You have to pick your master. You have to pick the one thing that you can be the best at and run with it. Become the best you can be. End of story. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You cannot be the best technician and the best business owner. It's impossible.
So do you do a lot of these 7 businesses, when you had the 7 businesses, did you do a lot with systems? Is that how you were able to travel for 126 days and still be able to run the business?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, everything is systematized. We have our processes, our procedures for every one of the companies is online. Every one of the procedures is on our network servers, and it's also in a binder. Each department head or each area has their own, we call them SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures, and every group has its own SOPs, and I'm telling you, it's how we do everything. It's as detailed as you enter the building at the north-facing door, turn the key counterclockwise until it clicks, and you can remove the key. Remove the key, open the door, right? This is all part of the process. As you open the door, turn the lights on at the switch on your left and go to the alarm panel, enter your code. This is how detailed our processes are. And it's every one of them is a living document. We update it. We just went through our accounting package and updated it completely 2 weeks ago. Everything is systematized. Everything has a process to it, and every process is documented. If you don't do if you don't do that, you're just setting yourself up to be a person-dependent company as opposed to a systems-dependent company. I have one of our clients. He ran a bakery. He had he fell into a diabetic coma, and he was in ICU for I think it was 11 weeks. Nina, it was 6 months before he could walk again and go back into his building. He had to learn to talk. He had to learn to walk. He had to learn how to write. He was like a baby when he came out of the coma, right? This man shared with me, because I said, Simon, how did you stay in business? He said, Jerry, I just did what you told me. I said, what are you talking about? He says, look, here's my binder. It had every recipe. It had every oven setting, how you clean the ovens, how you do everything for the bakery. And he had his kids, and he had some part-time help running the business for him. And he said, look, I wasn't breaking records, but they kept the lights on for me while I got better. And that, my friends, is the most important thing that I can tell you about having systems and standard operating procedures. It will keep your business going when you can't be there. My wife and I had the most amazing gal working for us Her name was Linda, and Linda was my friend. She worked with us for 9 years, and Linda was my right arm. Nina, she ran the businesses when I wasn't here. She took care of all the books, the payroll. She handled the entire back end of the business. She ran the offices, right? Took care of everybody. She was the go-between between me and every other employee. They didn't ask me for stuff. They asked Linda. Well, one Sunday night, I got a phone call. Linda died at 7:30 on that Sunday night, and I had never even opened our QuickBooks program. And my wife and I got to the office the next morning at 6 a.m., and by 6:20, we had payroll done for all of the companies because we had it in the system. It was in the standard operating procedures. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. When you put this together and make it work, that's how it works. I would not be in business today if I did not have those SOPs.
And it's obviously coming from the top down. So anybody that works for you, it is not a suggestion. It's not when you get around to it. It is absolute required, sounds like.
Oh, it's absolutely required. Yeah, without question. We have to do this. And not only do we have to do it, but it's ongoing. If there's ever something that needs to be updated, we fix it immediately. If you find, oh, hey, we got a new credit card processing machine, right? We have to change our systems. We have to change our SOPs to reflect the new buttons that have to be pushed for the reports that you need at the end of the day, right? So when anything like that happens, it's updated. Because what happens if you have someone who is your Linda and your Linda passes away? Who's going to help you? You've got to be able to run the business regardless of whether that employee shows up or doesn't show up.
Perfect. So now let's turn a corner again. Because you're the marketer who's saying anything that comes in my mailbox, I'm looking at it. I'm going to call somebody. How'd that work for you? I might take them, to lunch. How'd that work for you? Have you seen anything really creative right now during this time that caught your eye that you're checking out to see whether or not how that works?
Right now, I have not seen anything that has been creative coming across my desk. Nothing. It's, to me, I'm looking at it going, it's business as usual. And this is not business as usual. You have to go out. You're going to have to do something to jump outside of the normal crap. And I'll tell you, our local newspaper, there's lots of insert stuffed in it. There was only one piece that was stuffed in our local newsletter, our local paper on Sunday, which, again, we're a suburb, but we have 300,000 population. We're a fairly large suburb. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing people stopping their marketing. Stopping. We're putting the foot on the gas, girl. I'm adding more to it. My wife says, "What are you doing now?" I said, "Are you kidding? Crank up that voiceless or the ringless voicemail. I want to make that work for us right now." I mean, we're starting things we've never tried. I'm working on something that'll really. I like lumpy mail, and I like lumpy mail for lots of reasons. And I'm putting together a pretty fun piece that I got these little socks. You buy a pair of socks for like 50 cents. Online, and they're like little kid socks. And I'm putting together a piece that's going to say, for service that'll knock your socks off, right? And put that in there, and people are like, what the hell is that? So that's just one of the things that we're working on.
Yeah, no, I'm the queen of lumpy mail, so you're talking my language now. Jerry, you belong to a mastermind. What about, you may not have come across your desk, but are you hearing anything from your mastermind members who are also very brilliant marketers? Any cool stories, any cool ideas?
So right now I belong to 3 mastermind groups. I lead one currently, looking to grow into leading 2. I have not seen, and we ask for man, anything that's marketing, because that's really what I do, right? We got the businesses basically running on autopilot. You've got good people. We've got good systems. That's fine. What do I get to do? I get to do the marketing, and I'm always reaching out. I have not honestly seen or heard anything that makes me go, wow, I'm going to swipe and deploy that today. I see my email is blowing up, and it's blowing up, and all everybody wants to talk about is COVID-19. Well, I don't care about that. That's not what
we hear enough about that. Yeah.
Like I'm burned out on that. Show me something different, man.
The funny story, back when I told you that I worked at Notre Dame for a number of years, and one of the things I was I was in the purchasing department, but if you can believe that, even though I'm a marketer, although I've done multi-million-dollar marketing for Notre Dame. One time, one of the copier companies that I was buying copiers, we had a fleet of 400 copiers. I said to him one time, I said, who's your number one salesperson? And he said, well, it's this woman down in Florida. And I said, and what does she do different than everybody else? That was always my question. What do they do different than everybody else? And back then, and you're going to love this, Jerry, he says, she produces this crazy, ugly newsletter. All she did is talk about her vacation or, it was nothing. It was that connectedness. So, well, Jerry, I'm looking at the time, and we are out of time. But this was so fascinating. I mean, boy, you are just an amazing, amazing resource. You talked about wanting to have maybe a second mastermind. If somebody was interested and wanted to get a hold of you, do you have a way that they could connect?
Yes, and go to bbmmusa.com. That'll give you just about anything you need to reach us. bbmmusa.com. That's Business Builder, Mentor, and Mastermind.com. Of course, it's USA. We are only working with folks in the USA right now, and I have clients from New Hampshire to Washington State and lots of places in the middle. It's an amazing group of really, really smart people.
Fantastic. Well, they're led by a really smart person. So thank you, Jerry. This was such an honor to have you.
Thank you for having me. If there's anything I can do to help you or any of your listeners, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm just honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, until next time, this is Nina Hirschberger. And remember, maybe now is the time for you to start your newsletter.
Thank you for listening to MegaBucks Radio with Nina Hirschberger. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or to listen to past episodes, visit megabucksradio.com.